Cheyenne Moraes just won his fight. So now we're moving on to the next fight on the undercard. So this is the undercard for the fights. Actually, I love that they have Randy Couture and they have Ray Lewis there as like sports commentators. So it's awesome. So we have the MMA perspective from Randy Couture, and then we've got somebody who's got great, notoriety and presence with Ray Lewis to help build a fan base for stuff like this. And I kind of understand what the MMA community is doing with this, so it makes a lot of sense, and I'm here for it. So if you guys are wondering what flavor I'm smoking on the shisha here, I've got passion fruit and mint. Those are the flavors I usually mix with when I'm in the house. Passion fruit, blueberry, strawberry, and mint. And I'll do a mix or a combination of the four. So usually 2 at a time. So I'm smoking on passion fruit and mint. And as always, making sure I stay hydrated. As you guys can always see, I always got my glass with me. So it looks like it's a lightweight match. I'll let you guys listen in while I smoke.
Hey, I would pay to see that. That might be a next feature made of it. I tell you, I would really love a couple rounds.
I would love to see Randy Couture and Ray Lewis roll.
I ain't ready for so happy to have you part of it. So good. It's going to be a good ride, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, no big deal. Back to some regular season action here in Professional Fighters League. Lightweight standings right there in front of you. Clay Pollard right now at the top at 155 pounds. Ahmed Aliev and Louis Rajabov are looking to score some points. Coming up next. And there it is right there. Louis Rajabov, he was a finalist a couple of seasons ago.
Ahmed Aliev versus Loic Radzhabov is the next fight coming up. I'm not familiar with these guys, but watching, I'm 90% sure both of these guys are heavy wrestlers. That's usually what tends to happen when it comes to these Dagestani and Russian fighters. They do have a good striking pedigree, but a lot of them tend to be wrestlers. And I love that they do this point system with wins, right? So the more wins you get, obviously, the more points you get, and you're rewarded for finishes. So that makes for more exciting fights when you're watching MMA. A lot of times, like for example, in the UFC, obviously there isn't a point system, and the rankings don't really mean as much as they should. But in this, it's a merit-based system. You win, you get more points, you get into the playoff, you get to fight who you should be fighting in that instance, because guys are winning fights that they're supposed to win, or maybe somebody gets an opportunity to win with a knockout of a fighter who is perceived to be a better fighter. So I'm excited for this shit, bro. This actually looks really, really cool. So Ahmed Aliev is actually currently ranked second for lightweights. So I think this should be a good match. If you guys aren't tuning in, you can tune in through ESPN Plus, or if you're interested, what I can do is I can send you guys a stream of the fight, but don't get me in trouble, all right? Don't get me in trouble, y'all.
Let's take a look at our tail of the tape in our first lightweight bout of the evening. Ahmed Aliev, 1 year older. These men are the same height, the same weight. Ahmed Aliev has a 4-inch reach advantage in the arms. He will stay long and bounce around.
So I'm posting a stream for folks who don't have ESPN Plus, so you have an opportunity to watch. Or if you're at home watching TV, just tune in to ESPN, and I believe it should be on there. Or the ESPN Plus app. You can tune in there and watch. I'm ready for a good fight here. But really, again, the fight I'm most excited for is Clarissa Shields. Guys don't know who Clarissa Shields is. She's a boxing world champion who just transitioned over to MMA. And so this is going to be a big deal because we always talk about, like, we looked at fucking Logan Paul fighting Floyd Mayweather and the circus that was, of course, an exhibition. But for a lot of folks, it's like, it looks like some bullshit. You had Conor McGregor fight Floyd Mayweather, but this was a sanctioned bout, and it went on Conor's record and it went on Floyd's record. But you don't have a lot of boxers that are going into MMA, and this is where you really get to see a boxer who's really training wrestling, grappling, as well as their their kicks and kickboxing, along with their already elite level boxing. So the bouts just started. And what you tend to see is with guys who are two guys that are wrestlers that are going into a fight or that have better, and they're already getting it going. Olivier is already rocked, and it looks like he's about to get finished right now. Oh my goodness! Oh, it's over already. Look, just like that, it's over already. Damn, I didn't even get a chance to talk about it. Just like that, they call it a quick 6 because now he gets 3 points for the win. And then he gets 3 points. And this is the guy who was ranked second. So you go and you finish the guy who was currently ranked second in Olivier. He just got finished, and he doesn't realize what's happening because he's just waking up. Fuck, man. That's rough shit right there, bro. To ever have to deal with that. And I know this other guy is fucking excited right now. Holy shit, man. Damn, man. He got finished so quick. He got rocked right in the beginning and then just got finished, bro. And you get your 6 points for that. That I'm sure that shoots him up the rankings. So let's listen to what they're talking about right now.
2019, Olivier Java, we just won that fight. He was in the same scenario. We lost his first bout of the season. He came back, he won big in the second bout. He ended up competing in the championship. That finish might have set him up for the same scenario this year. When you're bouncing against the wall, sometimes it brings out the best. The best in you comes out with the back of the ball.
So he absolutely needed that win, and he got it. Holy shit, man. He finished him quick.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't even get any words out.
Real time in this replay. Real time. You can't see it in slow motion. Touch the gloves. Size each other. Okay.
And they're just, they're feeling each other out. They're using their jabs. They're feinting. They're faking. And then once he gets ready, he just gets in there. He hits him with a clean left, then a straight right, and then he clips him with an uppercut. It gets him down to the ground. Olivier tries to take him down, and next thing you know, it's just ground and pound from that point, bro. Shit. Ground and pound and just finishes him, dude.
Goodness gracious. Oh, and there's no slouch. He's a tough guy. He's extremely well-rounded. But if you get caught in the right spot, it don't matter. That's right. And once he let go of that low-level single, I mean, he was done. He just curled up.
Yeah, he had nothing for him in that, man.
So Loic look up at the referee like, come on, I've given him enough. Stop this already.
Yeah, it looked like it was on the temple. It was right on the temple. And those are the kind of shots that affect your inner ear.
Yeah.
Right? When you're getting shots right there on your ear, shit, man.
Man, Roger Paul, no help, what a shot. No help is for sure.
Because that's the short circuit. Nothing wants to work. Wow.
Excellent performance by the week for Java.
And again, for those of you that are not familiar with the PFL, they run it just like any other sports league, right? So right now, it's currently the regular season for the PFL. And during the regular season, you collect points for wins, right? So obviously, with however many fights you have in the regular season. If you get, say, a first round finish, you build up your points, and then you're then seeded 1 for the playoffs, right? And then it ends up being a 4-man playoff. It becomes a 4-man playoff at that point. Imagine that, 6 strikes and then you knock somebody out. So you're seeded 1 through 4, and those 4 fighters fight until they reach the championship, and then the championship winner gets $1 million at the end of the season. And so there you have opportunities for real money, because people talk about how MMA fighters, especially in the UFC, aren't getting paid their worth, aren't getting paid enough through the promotion because of how the UFC is designed, where it essentially regulates itself in terms of fighter pay and things like that. Some of the best fighters talk about things like the Ali Act transitioning over to also represent MMA the way it does for boxing. And if that does happen, that'll be an opportunity where fighters get a bigger chunk of what these companies are making to basically, how do I say this? Making off the revenue of these fighters. So super important that fighters get paid well, especially I've told you guys a story. If you guys ever get a chance, check out my YouTube video where I talk about I get offered $300 US to throw a fight. So it's not even that I get an opportunity to really fight somebody. It's like they have me actually just throw a fight, go in there, pretend to fight, and then just take the loss because they want a Chinese fighter to win. And that's something that's rampant throughout China in a lot of different sports. And it's a part of the Chinese culture in general. There's a lot of, trying to build up the Chinese image to make it look like Chinese fighters or Chinese athletes are better than they are. So they'll rig matches just for that reason. But I'm enjoying the PFL so far. First 2 fights that I watched, you got 2 finishes right there, which is pretty dope, pretty sick to watch. So the big thing now is, them gaining more notoriety so that they're able to compete with Bellator, who is currently on Showtime, along with, like big boxing events, and the UFC, which is obviously the gold standard when it comes to MMA matches and MMA fights. So, I'm sure everybody knows the UFC. You know who Conor McGregor is. You know who John Jones is. Some folks know who Nate Diaz is, and these bigger fighters. Now Israel Adesanya. But there are these other great leagues that are available to us, like the PFL, like Bellator, who also have great fighters. And now I'm excited to see the next fight. To have 2 finishes and 2 fights it's a lot of fun to watch. So let's listen in. Hopefully ESPN doesn't flag this video and take it down.
The stoppage comes officially at 27 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by knockout and earning 6 points in the lightweight division, Louis
Rajabov. Louis Rajabov. He's from Tajikistan. And now he's in the league. He's currently ranked number 1 now just because of that win. You beat the second guy, you get your quick 6 points.
If we get to 2 people have 6 points, so that could prove huge for Louis Rajabov. Take a look at the lightweight standings, and that does slide Louis Rajabov for now into first position.
So he's currently number 1 because he's 1-1. So he lost his last one, and then he just won that fight. So now he's ranked number 1.
First place at 155 pounds.
And for those of you that don't know, Anthony Pettis is currently also in the PFL. He left the UFC. He's in the PFL, and they've got a current promo running right now on it, where we see Clarissa Shields, because she's the big draw of this fight card. In her first professional MMA fight, her professional MMA debut in the PFL. A lot of folks are excited to see it. I couldn't wait for this. I've been waiting for this ever since I heard she was going to make the transition. She has got some of the nastiest hands you will ever see as a boxer. She'll knock chicks out. She's a beast, and now she's going to be moving to MMA, and I can't wait to see what she's going to be able to do out there. So it's a lot of fun to watch a boxer actually make the transition, and she trains at Jackson Wink, which is, for those of you that don't know, Holly Holm trains there, John Jones trains there, Cowboy Cerrone used to train there, as well as Diego Sanchez, who left and had all the drama with what's his name? Fabia, something. Basically, he was like a cult leader. I can't remember his name right now, but I don't really get two shits. So let's listen into some of the color commentary
As she
right now.
jumps in for her MMA debut tonight, we're talking about really reinventing the wheel for Clarissa Shields, Kenny.
It is. It's completely different. Not only, offensively, because, again, the first time I wrapped up
And I got Kenny Florian on here,
it
too.
feels really good. You're like, I get to hit somebody with these things. But also defensively, you don't have as much protecting your head, so you can sneak in shots where you might not be able to with a big boxing. Nowhere to hide. And I think the footwork is the other thing that you have to adjust. Boxers make that target real small. Yes. You do that, your lead leg is going to get wore out. Or kick. Take it down or kick to death. So most of them punches.
She's fighting Brittany Elkin.
Right.
Well, some boxers won't allow that.
So now she's really got to ball it up. By the way, I'm not usually self-conscious about the size of my hands, but when I'm dude, I shook his hand earlier, and my hand's still hurting, by the way, Ray. So thank you for that.
I would love to see Ray Lewis fight some MMA. That would be fun to watch. What do you guys think?
There's nothing for you here in the professional fighters league.
I'm sure Ray Lewis has got some heavy
Clarissa
hands.
Shields is up later tonight in her mixed martial arts debut. You're going to want to see that. But up next, Marcin Held right there, getting ready. Still no respect for the man who knocked off the two-time champion in his PFL debut. His opponent, Olivier Aubin Mercier, makes his PFL debut after nearly a 2-year layoff from the sport. In that time, the Canadian gangster realized what was most important to him. And tonight, he's excited to return to action and showcase his well-rounded skill set. And he promises this will be the best fight on the card. That's a big promise.
That is a big promise. Olivier Aubin Mercier. I believe he used to be a UFC fighter, actually.
Right now, I'm really happy to be back. It was a hard 2 years I didn't fight. And sometimes when things like this happens, you kind of see what's
Gotta
important
get
in your
some
life.
cold for the shisha. I'll
Fighting
be
is
back, folks.
I can see that now. I just want to put on a show. I just want to fight. I just want to do what I like. Marcin Held, really great opponent that was looking at that matchup in the past. He looked really improved in his last fight. I was really impressed. I think it's the most interesting fight on the card.
Oh, nice.
Because of the style matchup, it's look like a little bit like an old school matchup, Hardcore fans gonna love the matchup. I think a lot of people are gonna be surprised too. Like I said, I think this is the most intriguing matchup on the card. Two great athletes to fight each other. Two great athletes.
So if you guys are just tuning in, we're watching PFL. I'm really here for the Clarissa Shields fight, but it's fun to see what other fighters they've gotten in there. I believe Anthony Pettis is also fighting tonight. So we got some good fights on the card. Again, you can tune in via ESPN Plus. If you don't have ESPN Plus, I posted a link in the stream so you guys can also check it out. Tune in. This is for my hardcore MMA fans like myself, or those who are also fighters and you want to watch and see what kind of guys are up there making it at the high level when it comes to mixed martial arts. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, smoking on passion fruit, mint. It's early morning here in China, but I like to get my little smoke on whenever I'm watching MMA, when I sit back and relax and watch these fights. So it's always enjoyable. So if you're tuning in, just let me know what platforms you're tuning in from. I'm streaming from Twitch. I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on Facebook, and I'm also streaming live via Twitter or Periscope, as you guys may know it. So just let me know where you're tuning in from. I appreciate those that are even just checking out the stream. If there's nobody on, that's okay too. Really, for me, it's all about just having an opportunity to chat with whoever's out there, with whoever's tuning in while I watch these fights, because I've got a lot to say about it, but I don't always have somebody to say it to. And eventually, hopefully, I'll start tuning. I have people come and watch these fights with me when I'm doing when I'm doing a fight companion. You know, I'll have some of my other big MMA fans, maybe folks back home in the U.S. who are watching the fights, and friends here in China that are big MMA fans. So the lightweight division in the PFL, Luak Radabov, who just won, is currently ranked number 1 after his win. So he's got 1 win and 1 loss, which is huge. Now we got another lightweight division fight coming up. And Olivier Aubin lost, he hasn't fought yet, so this will be his first fight. And so with this win, he'll end up with 5 points. So he won't be able to get first place, but he'll end up somewhere in third if he gets this win. All right, so I'm Held, who's currently ranked fourth because he's got 3 points. So with this next win, he'll get another 3, and if he gets a finish, he'll obviously get some extra points so he can move into first place with this fight. Yeah.
I fought on a couple of cards with OAM earlier in my career. Really like this guy. Great attitude.
Yeah, man. And he's a physical specimen. Aubin Mercier is he's a big looking lightweight. He's lean. He's ripped. So he's in there looking to obviously get a big win. He also trains with GSP. It looks like, so he's he's a Canadian fighter, obviously, so that makes a lot of sense. I like that. I really do enjoy that they've made this. So if he gets a win with a stoppage, he will clinch his playoff victory, because I believe it's only two fights that you 2 or 3, I believe, or I have to look up the rules, but I believe what happens is if you get 2 wins, you're already in. But obviously finishes will get you more points, so you can lock in the spot. But I think there's a point cutoff, and that obviously because other fighters, there's looking like 12 fighters that are in that ranking. You get that 2. Say you get 2 victories, you get 6 points. But if either one of those are finishes, I believe that locks you in. And then when it comes to ties, I think submissions or knockouts get you the tiebreaker. And if someone's just deadlocking a tie, I think there's like a play-in so that you'll fight that person to get your opportunity to make it into the playoff. So we have Marcin Held versus Olivier Aubin Mercier from Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue the action in the lightweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Standing at 5'10", he officially weighs in at 155 and 1/2 pounds. In 16 professional fights, he has a record of 11 wins and 5 losses, with 9 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, here is the Canadian gangster, Olivier Mercier. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is also a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Standing at 5'9", he officially weighs in 100. 1/2 pounds. In 34 professional fights, this veteran has an impressive record of 27 victories and 7 losses, with 18 wins by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Tipe, Poland, here is Marcin Held. Your referee in charge, Oliver.
And I love they have a different camera angles that a lot of other leagues don't have. They have a lot of camera angles that a lot of other leagues don't have. So they have ref cam. So the referees are usually wearing glasses with a small camera on there, so you can get a closer view of what's happening. And they have one that's called a ghost cam. So the fight just kicks off, and they're both fighting. We got Olivier, who's southpaw, and then Held, who's orthodox. And he lands a nice little inside leg kick there. Olivier then gets aggressive and then hits a double jab and then a cross that he misses. Then now he goes in for a takedown, but Held is able to switch it up and get him to the cage. So now he's trying to take him down. and he gets to the leg. He's currently got a single leg that he's trying to work through to get him down to the ground. And Olivier's doing a good job of defending that. He hasn't been taken down to the ground. So he's fighting the arms right now. And in that position, you want to make sure that you're fighting the arms. You want to make sure that you get your hips turned and that your legs are wide, and that you get your hands in to make sure that you're hand fighting so that the person can clasp their hands for a double leg or a single leg takedown. Olivier is doing a great job of pushing the head away, which is super important when you're in that position of someone trying to get that single leg takedown. Pushing the head is you're going to break their posture, and it's going to be more difficult for them to take you down. But what you got to do is you got to make sure you break those hands. So in this position, Held has been able to lock his legs up, which is why he still got Olivier on the cage, and he was able to twist out. So now they're back. Held is making sure to take the center of the cage, which is a good strategy, and he's starting to walk Olivier down, but Olivier is staying right there. He lands a nice left cross. And Mercier, Held lands a nice little right hook and then a body kick. And these guys look like they're ready to get after it right away, which is, I think, something that the PFL breeds. Olivier goes for a head kick, but that he just misses. And another kick to the body, and then a nice actually left to the body that he lands. And he loves that lead left body kick. He uses that a lot. And Held, who looks to be more of a grappler, is trying to take him down. But Olivier actually has 8 submission of victories, so he's definitely no slouch on the ground. So, the question of what happens once they get to the ground is going to be interesting to see. And then Held misses with a left hook, but Olivier lands a nice lead left hand cross right there, and then he lands another one. And I would say he's just got to use that jab a little bit more, but he seems to like lead that left body kick that he throws as a southpaw and that lead left cross. So he doesn't use his jab as much because he's just using that body kick. He's really in love with that lead body kick. But there, left cross again, and now he's able to get a body lock. And now Held is trying to defend, and he's got his leg on the hip to try to make sure that he doesn't get taken down in this position. And he almost got the takedown there, but Held was able to maintain his balance and stay upright. Now Olivier's landed some knees to the leg. Held goes to try to do a judo throw, but isn't able to get it. And now Olivier is landing some a couple knees to the body and knees to the thigh, which aren't necessarily, debilitating attacks, but they can accumulate, and they can be pretty painful. And both of these guys have solid wrestling defense. I think the big thing, though, is that a lot of fighters in MMA aren't as good at wrestling as they should be. They usually try to use a little bit too much power, and so they aren't able to land takedowns as easily. Held now, he's locked up in that position against the cage, but he's doing a good job of landing shots to the face. Olivier almost takes him down, but he's able to get back to his feet and gain position. And then they disengage, and then he lands a nice right cross, but it looks like it was an eye poke. Oh, his mouthpiece fell out. That's what it was. So now I think what Held has to do is he has to get a little bit more aggressive, because Olivier clips him. He's about to finish. He got him down to the ground, and now he's doing some ground and pound trying to finish him. But Held is holding on just a bit. That he landed a nice shot that knocked him down, and now he was already winning that fight at that point. But I think that definitely won him the round with that knockdown. He does a great job, and then the round's about to end right now. That was a clean shot that he landed. He rushed in, catches it with a clean shot, clips him, almost finishes him, but he's able to make it through that round. Held is able to make it through. That was a nice shot that he landed there. So obviously he's winning on the scorecards right now. So I give that one round first round to Olivier. Yeah, I feel like now after seeing some of the fighters that they have in there, I might start tuning in more to the PFL and not just the UFC, because I haven't admittedly been watching it that much. He landed him with a nice looping overhand right that just clipped him. And if he had been able to maybe get past the guard a little bit, he might have been able to finish him. But he did land some nice ground and pound. He was rushing in, but Held was able to hold him down for the last few seconds and make it to the end of the round. And obviously, luckily, he gets that minute to recover, and so now he's in a position where he's hopefully doing all right now. And for those who are curious, you can always watch this on ESPN2 and also ESPN Plus. You can watch both of these. Also, ESPN Deportes for those of you that enjoy watching in Spanish. Also, apparently they stream via Twitch as well. I did not know that. It just depends on your country. So, obviously you just check your local listings. Oh, and they're also streaming live via YouTube. So if you guys are on YouTube, you can watch the fight via YouTube also. Actually, I think I might switch my stream to YouTube. Yep, I think that's going to be the best stream to watch. All right, so we're in the second round. Currently, Held is connected, and then they get on the cage, and then they get separated. And actually, the stream on YouTube is awesome. So if you guys get a chance, you can just watch the stream via YouTube. It's currently streaming right now on YouTube on the PFL MMA page. And what I would love to do is maybe next time what I can do is I can get the stream on here so you guys can watch the fight as it happens. So currently Olivier is clinched on the cage with Held. He's got him against the cage. He's working to try to get get a takedown right now. And these guys, you can tell these guys are both grapplers, but they both got Olivier's got some solid striking. Held hasn't really shown much from what I can see so far. So, but it looks like Olivier is clearly winning this fight, dominating right now. And this will obviously get him some good points. He's able to land the takedown now. He's doing some great work against the cage, and so now his job is to advance, make sure he can get himself into like a mount position or something like that, and then get some ground and pound and finish the fight. Because I'm sure he's going to want those extra 2 points for the finish in the second round. So he's currently in half guard, but he's got Held against the cage, working his way up. Held is able to land some ground strikes as well, trying to fight his way out, and he's able to get into the close guard. He's trying to turn away from the cage, which is the best thing you want. But he's landing some ground strikes from the top. From the bottom. Held. Olivier is kind of just sitting there in the guard. He's trying to turn him towards the cage to get that dominant position, which is actually what you really want. And then you're able to post up, and then from there, able to land some ground strikes, which is what he's able to do a little bit. So he's able to land a couple strikes, but Held is doing a good job of working from the bottom. He's trying to stay active, but you really don't want to stay stuck in that position. You don't want to just sit there. He's trying to turn out, and he's able to disengage, and then now Held is able to get Olivier to disengage. Olivier is now standing. And now the ref is going to stand him up. Oh, sorry, the round ends. Let me get my new codes for the future.
In a win or go home scenario coming up here in a couple of fights on ESPN Plus. Sean O'Connell, Randy Couture, Katie Florian heading into the third round here between Olivier Aubin Mercier and Marcin Held. OAM needs a finish desperately.
Yes,
Marcin Held, he could also give himself a playoff spot if he can get a finish here in round number 3. OAM in the black and gray trunks. Marcin Held in the red.
Held with a third round finish.
Oh!
Guarantee himself a playoff spot. AOM, even with a finish in this third round, I don't think that's going to guarantee him a spot in the playoffs.
And he's pretty much out because of the way the math works out. But he's still looking for that second check. You saw in the fighter performance rating. He is on top according to the FPR algorithm. And the aggression continues for both of these gentlemen. Marcin Held shows
We got a good fight going so far. I got Olivier winning the fight, but like they said, because of the way the math works, he's out of the playoff currently. Even if he gets a finish, I believe. Because his current points were -1. I'm not totally sure why it was a minus. Maybe about the length of time he didn't fight, but we'll see. And he's still aggressive. He lands a nice right hand there, and then he gets the clinch against the cage. He has a switch right hand that he's been landing that has been super successful throughout the fight, which is what he dropped Held with in the first round, and he's able to get him down to the ground now. But it looks like Held is going for a submission. He's trying to get to a heel hook or look like an ankle lock right now. Oh, yeah, he's going for a leg lock right now. But he's got to make sure he gets that foot over to the side. But it looks like Olivier is able to work his foot out and not be stuck in that position. He's against the cage, but now he's in that top position. So Held's in a little bit more trouble now. I think really the biggest thing Olivier has to do right now is work to finish. He's got to work to finish. He can't just sit there. And now the ref is going to stand them up. So again, if you can watch on ESPN Plus, ESPN2, and there's also a YouTube live stream of the fight as well. Held lands a nice inside leg kick. Olivier hits it with a lead jab. And he's trying to shoot for a takedown, but it looks like right now there's no reason why Olivier doesn't secure the victory with this fight. So if you're just tuning in and watching PFL regular season bout, right now it's the third fight on the undercard. And it looks like Held is just shooting for submissions right now because he needs to finish the fight because he's clearly losing right now. So he's kind of using these last-ditch efforts. He gets clipped again with that right hand. It's like Olivier it's like a switch overhand right, which is actually super powerful. And there he lands a left hand and a nice right. So he's fighting southpaw, but whenever he throws that heavy right, it's like an overhand right. So it's like a switch right hand, which can be very, very effective, especially when somebody's not expecting for you to switch it and throw a power shot from that other side. Now Olivier's got him clinched against the cage. He's really just got to, hold on for the victory, but it's not enough unless he gets a finish. Yeah, I don't understand why this ref is so quick to separate it, but maybe that's what the PFL is working for. They want more excitement, so they don't let them clinch against the cage unless they're really active. Olivier lands a cross to the body, and then he lands a head kick, but it was blocked by Held. Ooh, he lands another right hand. He's got to see that he's clipped. He's wobbly. He could finish him, but he's not. There's about 5 seconds left. And it looks like the fight's over. It's over. That was a good fight. That was a really good fight. Thank you guys, everybody who's tuning in right now. I know it might not be a lot of you, but I appreciate every single view that I get.
He hasn't fought in 2 years. He feels like he's done enough to win. There's our Cagenomics stats bundle presented by Geico. More active in the strikes for Mercier. Higher percentage land fight. OAN.
And if anybody ever wants to get on this stream with me, and then my peoples and then my MMA fans, just hit me up. We can set it up. We can stream together. We can have a good old time. So they're going to announce the winner now. I think it's very clearly Olivier. He did a great job with the match. So he's going to get that W. But again, it's not going to be enough to get him in that playoff. I think with his second match will be his opportunity to get himself in the playoff. So I believe the way they have it set up, and let me do a little bit of research right now as they get the fight card together, because I'm not familiar with all the rules of the PFL, but I'm familiar with, again, the points and stuff like that. So let me look at the current standings for fighters. And for those of you that don't know, they have featherweight, lightweight, welterweight, light heavyweight. So there's no middleweight division, it looks like. Light heavyweight, and then they have heavyweight. And then for women, there's just lightweight. Which is what Clarissa Shields is going to be fighting in right now. And they've done a great job of just keeping it really professional with their website and everything, which is what I'm on right now. League format. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Official rules and regulations. They have cage and not. They have, they're trying to show their own, unique fight statistics and things like that to get the fight to make it, unique to them and more interesting. Oh, that's interesting. They do not have elbows as well. I did not realize that. They don't have elbows. So the point structure, right? You get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, no points for a loss. Bonus points for stoppage. Again, round 1, you get 3 points. Round 2, 2 points. Round 3, you get 1 point. Any fighter who is awarded a walkover will receive a win and 3 total points. Interesting. Standings. Fighters in each division will be ordered in standings according to the number of points they've earned during the season. Highest number of points at the top, starting the first group of fights. The top 4 fighters in the standings in each division will be assigned a seed corresponding with their place in the standings. Those 4 fighters in each division will move on to the playoffs. Any fighter outside of the top 4 will not automatically be assigned a seed. For more information, interesting. So there are different ways to tiebreakers. So head-to-head, like as if you've already beat the fighter. Number of finishes, winning percentage, number of regular season fights. So I guess it's not the same for every fighter. Playoff seeding matchups. Single elimination brackets. Interesting. And then the championship. It's obviously 5 rounds, 5 minutes. All right, interesting. So they've got a whole system behind how they want to do it for the PFL to make it, again, like a true league. So this is interesting.
Coming up at trying to isolate that single leg.
That's a rich.
So we've had some good fights so far. Nothing too crazy. So what I think I'll do, I'll end the stream here for now. Thank you guys for tuning in. And then I'll start streaming again when the main card comes. So I'll just enjoy the fights for now. No one to make because really that Clarissa Shields fight is what I'm looking forward to the most. So tune into that. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Sdotbell MMA. Check me out on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, S.Bell on Instagram. Peace.